Hey, church family, thank you for joining us for today's Daily Connection video. Man, it is second day of the week. Hope that you have been plugged in throughout this week as we are talking about having confidence and not just any confidence, but confidence that God will fulfill the promises that He has given us. And so we're going to pick up where Brother Brent left off yesterday. Kind of a confusing scene here as Jesus is kind of offering some truth to the disciples, and the disciples are asking a lot of questions about it. Brother Brent talked about that yesterday. And so we're going to jump in verse 19 as Jesus is going to respond to them. Verse 19, it says, Jesus knew they wanted to ask him, and so he said to them, are you asking one another about what I said? In a little while you will not see me. Again, in a little while you will see me. This isn't the first time that Jesus has kind of supernaturally had an understanding that people were kind of questioning something, whether it was inside of them or whether they were likely keeping it from Jesus. Jesus knew. We see this whenever the four friends bring their crippled friend to Jesus for healing. Jesus knew what was on their hearts. He knew what was on their mind. He understood what was going on. And right here, he knows and he understands what's going on in the disciples' hearts. And he's not asking these questions in a way of judgment. No, he's asking this question because he wants to give them an answer, because he wants them to have understanding, because he's having compassion on them. I think oftentimes when we are walking through difficult times in our life, it feels like Jesus doesn't understand what we're going through. We can look and be like, we don't sense him. We feel like we're all alone, and it's because Jesus doesn't get it. He doesn't understand what we're going through. And I think that what we need to understand from this passage, and not just this passage, but also the greater context of the gospel as a whole, is that Jesus does understand what we're going through. Supernaturally, he knows our hearts. He knows our thoughts. He knows what's going on. He knows how we feel. But also, we need to know and understand that he bore all of that on himself on the cross. Every bit of pain that you have ever felt or ever will feel, Jesus bore it for you on the cross. So he does understand what you're going through. And he has not abandoned us. That's a promise. That's something that we can have confidence in, that he has not abandoned us, that he understands the pain that we face, and that he is there for us. Our author gives us a couple of questions that we can look at to kind of walk through that thought. And the first one is, when have you felt like God might not understand what you're experiencing? When have you felt like maybe God had abandoned you and maybe he didn't really get it? Think back to that time. Put yourself in that moment. And then ask this next question. How can we know that God understands? And the reason why I want you to ask yourself that question after putting yourself in that past circumstance is because I want you to confront that. I want you to confront your own thoughts in that moment. When you have felt like God didn't understand what you were experiencing, confront that with the truth that he certainly did, that he knew exactly what you were feeling, not just because he knows our hearts and he knows our minds, but also because he bore it on the cross for us. Church family, I hope that you will take time to do that today. I hope that you know that no matter the circumstance you're walking through, you are not alone. Christ is with you. Our church is with you. And we want you to lean on him and lean on us. And as you do that, we want you to know that we love you and we're praying for you.